Hey, how's it going, everybody? We're back for episode 5 of my podcast, Kaos Corner. Man, I can't believe it's 5 episodes in already. But I'm having a grand old time. For this podcast, I have Ninethie on.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I think of everybody that's been on my channel, I know the least about you. So this is going to be an interesting time. Because we're going to get to know Ninethie. Inside and out, and at the end of this podcast, we will all know everything there is to know about Ninethie. We're gonna dig up his deepest, darkest secrets. There will be nothing left. Nothing.
Just weird. I don't think I have any secrets. I'm pretty much an open book.
I was just trying to do a funny bit for the podcast. All the listeners.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah.
No. This is super nonchalant. Yeah. So, So I usually give a little segment at the beginning, where I let the guest describe what they do and what their content creation is. So Ninethie, just let everybody know what it is that you do.
Okay. Hello everybody. I'm Ninethie. I'm a content creator on YouTube. And for the last 3 years, no one's been able to say my name correctly, and it's very interesting. I make raps primarily about video games. Every now and then I make anime tracks or even comic or film tracks, as well as I kind of lean more towards video editing as a whole. I intend to bring more live action content into the music scene, but I also make gaming videos and meme-tages to cure my ailing mind and just go, haha, funny meme. Funny meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I saying your name right? Am I saying it right?
Yes. Yeah, it's Ninethie. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, when I first saw your name, I'm not gonna lie, I butchered it, so I don't even want to.
Don't worry, everyone does.
I don't even want to, but now I know how it's pronounced. So it's pronounced Ninethie. For all of you wondering, if you don't know who Ninethie is, that's how you pronounce the name. I know I'm gonna get a few people that are going like, how am I supposed to pronounce this name? But I've actually been kind of looking forward to this because I think Jeff Hoplin told me that I should have you on.
Okay.
Well, I think I told him that you expressed interest, and he's like, "Dude, that'd be cool. You should have him on." And I've been kind of trying to like make time for this, and we finally found time to sit down and actually do this, which is awesome. Episode 5 is just 5 episodes in. It's so crazy to think that this podcast idea that I just made a tweet about, now we're 5 episodes into it, became a real thing. So
I mean, you're a good host, so people will keep coming.
I hope so. I hope to keep putting these out every week, and so planning it was definitely it's just a struggle every week almost, because I'm trying to get I have to record it early enough to get it prepared in time. So like, it was awesome that you decided to sit down and do this, so I don't have to worry too much about it. We're recording this like super early, so I'm super happy about that. So this episode we will have one. So that's dope. So everybody thank Ninethie for sitting down with me and being on this podcast episode, and hopefully we can uncover those deepest, darkest secrets.
I was just raging it For Honor, and I needed an excuse to stop playing it.
Why did you start doing like content creation and like start like a YouTube channel? Like, why did you do that?
Okay, so first off, the first thing I ever did as a YouTuber wasn't music at all. It was voice acting. 'Cause I'm a voice actor or an actor.
Interesting.
And like throughout living, I heard Danbo, I heard JT Music, and I was like, I kept telling myself, I was like, man, I really want to do this. I really want to try this. And I'd never really sat down and thought about it until Fallout 4 got released, and at the time I was a huge Fallout fanboy. Like, you couldn't say anything wrong about Fallout, especially Fallout New Vegas. I just wouldn't let you. So when Fallout 4 came out, I was so hyped. I was actually at school. I was in 6th form at the time, which is like, I guess, our version of extended education, like kind of the bridge between school and college, if you like. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna just go to the music department right now and see what's going on. So I did, and I found a beat on YouTube. And the funny thing about this is my Fallout 4 track I mixed myself, because the music teacher that let me use the studio mixed it and I didn't like it. I was like, it sounds too clean, so I'm gonna mix it myself, and it was terrible. But the thing with that was, if I'd let them mix it, everybody would have thought I would have come out the gates professional, right? So I'm kind of glad in hindsight I didn't let them mix it, because then there's that progression. Rather than me sounding amazing at that level, at least mix-wise, flow-wise, no, not at all, and rhyme schemes are trash, but mixing, if I came out the door golden, and then every other track subsequently was trash, I'd lose my audience. So I'm glad I made that choice. It's gonna sound really weird, but like, or kind of generic, I guess, but it was definitely JT Music and Dan Ball that persuaded me or influenced me to start Nerdcore. But I originally listened to a lot of Tech 9, so yeah, weirdly enough, I really like Tech 9. More so, what I heard about Tech 9 was Worldwide Choppers. I remember playing on the Xbox 360 and being like a squeaker, playing Halo 3 with my friend Lewis, and he played Worldwide Choppers down the microphone. You can imagine how awful that sounds, like on a little MP3 phone down a really terrible old Xbox 360 mic, and it was awful. But I was like, damn, this song kind of slaps, and that's just kind of how it happened. And I just got influenced enough to make the Fallout 4 song, and everything just rolled on from there, really. Weirdly enough, it wasn't until 2 years ago I actually just made the full switch to music, though, because I was still making gaming content, and I had a friend who was doing a managerial course, and she asked me if she could manage my channel for a year as part of the course assignment, and she was like, you need to get rid of music, and I hope she got a good grade, because that was one of the best decisions I made for the channel. That was a very elongated explanation, I apologize.
Wait, you got rid of music?
No, I got rid of gaming. I stopped the gaming content. She was like, you should just be a music channel.
Yeah, just do the music. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I guess that answers my question. You said 2 years, right? How long have you been making music?
Oh, well, I suppose how long I've been making music? 4 years on YouTube.
4 years.
But yes, so the switch was 2 years ago, I think. To just
so being more serious about it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. I get that answer a lot. I feel like a few people have been on said 2 years or something like that. I feel like, is that what Carter said? Man, I'm trying to think it back all the way back to episode 1. I think it was 2 years. But it's like, you know, a lot of the artists that have come on my channel for the podcast, they've all been like, you know, musicians, and they make music. Like I haven't had anyone else come on right now. I would like to feature other types of content creators on my channel, but it's just been mostly because I'm so like, I guess, you know, I react to a lot of these, you know, songs and whatnot. So I'm like, that's a big part of like the community is like the nerdcore music community. So like, a lot of those people are hitting me up. But like, you know, I'm always open to have people just come on my channel, even if they do like speed painting or something like that, you know, or speed drawing. You know, you know what I'm talking about. Like, it would be really cool to have someone like that on.
That would be
about
insane.
It. But like, you know, for these 5 episodes now, we've got musicians.
I mean, I would take solace in the fact that, you know, I came from making meme videos, and I am a meme editor. So I mean, I don't know.
You do
label
more
it how
than
you
just
want to
music,
label it.
and you said you did voice acting and whatnot. So it's like
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So you said 4 years. Yeah, if I'm thinking about that correctly, 4 years, and then more serious about music.
Serious.
2 years,
For 2 years. Yeah. I'd say so.
So, like, what's the origin, like, behind your name, like, Ninethie? Like, what's the origin behind that?
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like a huge secret within like my little friendship group. So I can only say a certain amount of things. Before anything, I lost a parent when I was very young, and a way to combat that and cope with that was to write books. And there's a short book series which I'm still in the midst of talking about a contract to get published, by the way. A small book series, and Ninethie is a name in that book series. I can't say anything more other than that, but there was a time where I really, you know, obviously dealing with the loss of someone very close, I was super into this whole idea of escapism, and I was like, man, wouldn't it be cool to be this? And there was a time where I really questioned what you know, this character was as a way of coping. And I thought the best way to go into anything as a way to label myself, because a YouTube name is a label, is to own this name, because this name is what carried me through that dark period in my life, and I want to own it. I want to be like, plus it's really unique. I don't see anybody else with a name like this. So it's a bit of a sad story, but
it is sad. I'm really sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. I laugh about this thing all the time now. Like, people make jokes about it, and I laugh. I think I feel like getting hung up on those sort of things in general is just bad for you. Just these things happen. You just move on.
Yeah, your name is very. I've never seen a name anywhere close to that, like to Ninethie. So you definitely stand out.
Hey, I'll take it.
And it stands out, and it's kind of very unique. And I guess the way it actually is pronounced rolls off the tongue a lot better than what I thought it was.
See, a lot of people think it's Ninethie.
That's
which
what I thought it was.
grammatically make sense because the way the two words are together, there is an enunciation, a pronunciation you should make of because it's like a bridge gap. So even if you said the 9, you'd still have to say Ninethie, and then you'd realize, oh, it's Ninethie.
Yeah.
But then people were like, why don't you put an A instead of an E? Because I'd be like, then it's Ninethie, and that's a female name, and I'm not female.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Yeah. But yeah, like, oh man, that name is just, you say it's like no one's had it, and I'm thinking like, wow, I've never seen a name like that. So, I do need to ask about your logo, because like, what is your logo? I mean.
Oh, okay. So the logo is a mythological horned lion, and then an artist friend and I recreated this idea, because originally I was like, my last name's Bull, but I really like lions, and they were like, you can't have a bull because of Dan Bull, and I'm like, yeah, I get that, and they were like, you like lions? I was like, yeah, so we'll look at this. It's kind of almost like a chimera, but then we gave it horns, and it's called the Ninethie. It's our own mythical creation.
Holy crap, that is so cool.
Yeah, so I kind of just ran with this
persona. Okay, I don't want to say it's like the dopest story of like a logo origin, but it is like one of the coolest. I wouldn't say it is like the dopest, because like they're, it's like the logo was like a whole new creature that was just created.
Yeah, because like the thing is, like, my original logo was Fallout inspired. It was an Ninethie on a vault door with the Fallout color scheme, and I was like, man, it's just not unique. It's just not what I want to be. And I wanted an avatar. I didn't want just a logo. I wanted a persona and an avatar. And I was talking to my artist friend about it for the longest time. And like, you can't just have a lion, and so many people have lions. You can't just have a bull. You can't have a wolf. So we came up with the Ninethie, and I'm just really happy with him. He's just a cute little lion just roaring at the camera.
Oh gosh, I love it, dude. It's so cool. I thought it was unique when I first saw it, and I'm like, okay, I've got to ask him about the logo, because if somebody has a nice eye-catching logo or something interesting, like, I usually ask about it.
I feel like it's up there. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, it's just like, it's, as I was saying, it just was eye-catching, and I had to ask about it.
See, I think it's up there for me personally, and this is completely, obviously, subjective. I'm not trying to put this as a fact or anything. There are so few logos in Nerdcore that stand out to me, because a lot of them are either drawings of themselves or a weird symbol. That line, while it's simplistic, I think it's up there with the likes of Fable and Divide, simply because they stand out. I mean, Fable and Divide are far better than the lion, because they're detailed and they're very characterized and they're very iconic. And I mean, I'm looking at Divides right now. It's so nice, but that stands out because it's not just a symbol; it's an avatar. And that's what I wanted. I'm super happy with it. Super happy. I sound really egotistical right now. I'm trying to be humble.
Okay, you're just proud of how it turned out.
Yeah,
I can see that.
There we go.
I'm
just proud.
You're just like, because it's almost like your own creation. So like, I mean, when it turns out well, I mean, you're just happy about it and proud. So like, I don't think it as egotistical. I just think you're proud of it, And
yeah,
I would be too. I'm still in the midst of trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for my logo, because like right now I just have a picture of me that I had a friend of mine just kind of like Photoshop cut it out of the picture I sent him just to have me in there. But I'm trying to get trying to find someone to make me obviously like an avatar, which is kind of very unoriginal, but like it's something because I kind of like the way it looks and whatnot. But I'm kind of still trying to figure that out. But I mean, something like what you're doing, that's like super cool.
I feel like if I were to give you a hint or advice on this, is think about brand. When you look at Connor Quest and his rebranding, his stuff fits on t-shirts so clean. Oh yeah. So clean. The same with Schwabadi, Divide, and Fable. Game Boy Jones as well. I don't think Game Boy Jones has a specific other than the. Oh no, he recently actually got the Game Boy as an avatar, which is kind of cool. So you really you got to think about something. Would this look good on a t-shirt? And that's really weird to say, but I feel like if you aren't dreaming of making merch, you ain't putting enough heart in. I want people to wear that line one day.
Oh, dude, I'd buy a shirt with that on it, hands down.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
I'll take it.
So I usually ask if people were like considering any other names. I think I should go with the name origin, but I don't think you were considering any other names, were you?
No. Ninethie was just the first thing.
Yeah.
It was just straight away. So
well, I guess that makes that question easy because it's just like no. The answer is no.
Yeah, I knew what I wanted.
No. Yeah. My name Kaos wasn't the first one I ended up on, and I feel like I'm gonna keep talking about this. I'm just gonna say this. Go back and if you're listening to this, go back and if you haven't seen it, catch up on episode 1 of my podcast. We'll watch them all, but in episode 1, I go more in depth of my name origin, and I feel like I'm gonna be a broken record every time I come to this question. So, like if you want to know,
if you got something to
know my name origin, I said it. I think in the previous 4 episodes, I think I've brought it up in some way. So I mean, just go check those out. They're amazing episodes. But listen to this one first. Let's finish this conversation with Ninethie. Yeah, I just feel like I'm like, okay, at some point I'm gonna just stop saying it because it's just gonna be a broken record. Because I'm just like, okay.
Come back to the next one, and you'll have a different name. I'll be like, oh, okay.
But yeah, like, so I was gonna ask, like, kind of more about your music. What kind of like artists inspire your music? And they can be like, it can be just anything. It can be nerdcore artists, or it can be just like regular,
See,
yeah.
I weirdly, I can't sing too well, which is weird because like the artists that inspired me to get into music to begin with anyway, were the likes of Beach Boys, Dire Straits, and what were they called? The Mavericks. Because my father was super into country and those sort of songs and that sort of genre, and I really like that. That's why I really like Four, because of the classic vibe it gives. But then, like, in my teen years, I heard of a band called Disturbed, and I started listening to metal a hell of a lot more. So one of my biggest influences in general is metal. It's like Avenged Sevenfold, Disturbed. I don't know if they're heavy metal, but and that's why I do screamo and growls and shouting a lot of my songs, because I like, there's nothing better than just like a roar in mid-track. It's just so cool. It's just hell yeah. And then I suppose like my brother is super into Eminem, and I do like Eminem. He's a goat by all means. But like I say, Twisted Insane, I think when I was younger I listened to him a lot. I listened to a lot of George Watsky, I think his name was. When I was younger I used to listen to him a lot as well. I couldn't specifically pinpoint my style down to any one person, because I pull from a lot of people. I think I strive to be as unique as I can, but my influences are cut clear. I definitely think Fable's an influence of mine right now. Fable and Divide have this sound and feeling to each track that I wish I could get. And I listen to their music all the time. I'm like, man, what is this magic they have? So they're definitely a part of influence. But if I were to say what influenced me the most, has the most impact on my style, I would probably say Disturbed.
That's awesome. I love Disturbed. I listen to a lot of Disturbed. I mean, I used to. The majority of what I listen to today is nerdcore, but like I do like Disturbed. I'll listen to Disturbed. Like, they were one of my big favorite bands.
Oh yeah, easily. I think they're up there with Sabaton. I don't know. Have you ever heard Sabaton?
No, I have not.
they're insane. That I would give them a listen. They like they do like they've done like World War II songs and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
And it's like you like battle music. Like, yeah, I'd go into battle and die with honor if this was playing. Like, you know, to the gates of hell, and we make cut away through heaven, like that sort of vibe. But it's like, hell yeah, let's go run at some people and just see what happens.
So like, I asked this question, and I feel like it's such an interesting question because a lot of people have a hard time with it. But like, what does music mean to you?
Oh, okay. I'm gonna bounce this back to you after this, because I'm very interested. To me, it is a reflection of how you feel at the time. It is 110%. Well, you can't get 110%, but it's 100% of your heart, your soul, because there are so many artists out here that sound the same, both in nerdcore and in mainstream media, and I think they're doing it because they like to chase the dream, like to chase the fame. But the ones that stand out for me aren't necessarily the more famous ones. It's the people that tug at my heartstrings or make me feel something, like Sabaton. Like, I want to just run at people in battle. I'll probably die because I'm useless, but you know, music it should be an emotional journey. It should be a venture. And when I say emotional, you can be sad, it could be happy, it could be anything like that. And I think that's why I change my style up so often. I can have a really happy song, or a really sad song, or a really evil song. I want people to feel something. Like Monster, when I released that, I want people to listen to Monster, the Pyramid Head song, and play Pyramid Head in Dead by Daylight and feel invincible, feel like this ruthless killer. I just want music to be this captivating feeling, this almost magic, the spell that people get, and when they hear it, they can do incredible things. I know writers who, you know, they're good writers, but when they get a specific song in mind and they listen to it, they create beautiful scenes. And I'm not saying like, oh, you know, like Romeo and Juliet beautiful. I'm talking like, you know, it could just be a frog hopping over a log, but the way it's written is so detailed. It's so, you know, captivating. So music for me is it's you. It's a reflection of you and how you want your listener to feel. But what's music like for you? What would you say?
Hold on, I'm trying to like, holy crap! You just like hit me with like the heaviest shit I've heard all day. Holy crap! Okay. That's awesome. I'm trying to like kind of my brain's trying to process what you just said because I'm like, oh, okay. What music means to me, I kind of said this in the first episode, but I will say it again. Music to me means kind of sort of what you said a little bit, but it's like an extension of you, like how you feel, but it can also help you say things that you can't put into words. Like you can't like just say out loud, because you could tell someone, hey, you mean the world to me, but you can make a song about it, and because the instrumental and everything and the way it comes together, you could really make someone feel like they mean the world to you. That's just an example.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's like, instead of just saying it, you're either, you know, singing it probably to a melody, to everything, and it just like, it kind of encompasses a feeling that's not that words can't just express sometimes on their own. So like music almost kind of touches the soul almost. Actually, it does. I would say music touches the soul. And
it's like a comfort blanket.
Yeah. And music has been a part of my life for a long time. I have been, you know, I listen to music obviously, but I've been a part of many different, you know, music, I guess, like groups. I guess not really like bands or anything, but like in elementary school, I did some stuff with music. I kind of said this in the first episode, but I'll say it again for anybody who this is their first episode of my podcast. But I was in like my music teacher in elementary school. I think one of the reasons why I'm really into music is because of him, because he was such a great music teacher that made, like, he had a way of getting people to be interested in it. And
okay, and that's just a really good teacher.
And then he had like this like kind of like marimba xylophone group that he would put on. It was like extra, you know, stuff. It was like after school, you know, but they did like we'd perform at like Christmas shows, you know, kind of like, you know, when you go in like choir or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, it was kind of like that, but I was in that. And I did that for the majority of elementary school, and that was kind of pretty amazing. And then once I got to middle school, I was in like it was called band, but it's like I played trombone, and I did that all the way through. I did it in my freshman year of high school, and then I stopped doing that because I just lost interest for that altogether. And then I picked up guitar, and I've been playing guitar since. So I've always had some sort of like instrument that I was picking up playing. And so music has always been something that not only do I listen to, it's been something that I also, you know, I guess I play instruments. I kind of create music, I guess. Even if I'm jamming in my room, I'm, I guess, you know, creating music for myself just to listen to.
That right there is the essence of music. Yeah. Nobody needs to even listen to it. Just you. It's like a form of meditation when that happens. I wish I could play instruments. I had a guitar. I'm useless at it now because I busted my hand up. My hand's fine now, but obviously when I busted my hand, I was like, I can't play guitar right now. And I've actually forgotten. I've never got back round to playing it. But it's like a form of meditation, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like I'll sit down for like, you know, hours. Like I'll be sitting down, and then like I'll start playing guitar, and then all of a sudden I look at the time, and it's like it's been 3 hours, and I'm like, wow, it's like, and then I'm like, okay, it's been 3 hours. Then it's been 3 hours. Okay, we'll keep going, and then the next thing you know, it's like another 3 hours. And you're like, how the hell did 6 hours pass? I think that's kind of it's kind of that way because I get lost in music. I get lost in what I'm doing because I get so
immersed.
Yeah, immersed in what I'm doing, and it's kind of funny because I was actually up the other night. I've been I've been trying to make music of my own, and I have a few songs out. I'm trying to get more out, but I've been busy. I was up the other night getting some instrumentals and beats together for songs I want to work on, and I realized that I was up almost until like I looked at the time. I'm like, oh, it's the next morning because I saw a light start shining through my windows. I'm like,
yeah,
it's
at that point you gotta question, is it worth going to bed?
Yeah, no, I started at like 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I can't remember exactly when, the night before, and I looked at and I was like, oh, it's already 5 a.m. I'm like, but I've been sitting up here working on my music and other stuff, and like I didn't work on music the whole time. I was putting other stuff together for, you know, I forgot what I was doing exactly, but it was like, it was music mostly. And then I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Whatever I spent this time, you know, it's gonna pay off later. You know, I might feel like crap for being up all night. You know, I might be tired. But I mean, later down the line, I'll be like, I'll thank myself for having this kind of, you know, either being worked on to some degree. And I was like, you know, it's worth it. You know, whatever. I mean, you got, I feel like if you want to make music, I feel like you got to put time into it. And the fact that I got lost in it and just like it was like 5 a.m. kind of just shows that like I was just like so immersed in what I was doing that I wasn't even focusing on anything else except for that. And you know, sometimes that happens, and I completely understand now because I see some of these other artists like post on Twitter, I was up all night, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like, what is? And then I actually firsthand know what that feels like, so I'm like, okay, yep, that's something that happens. So that's kind of like my long, like winded answer of what music means to me / talking about I guess my music and stuff. But I mean, yeah, there's my answer. I tried to talk about it more in depth than what I did in the first episode because it was like, but yeah,
it is
yeah.
It's just a state of mind. It's a state of being as well, or it should be. Which is why I take issue sometimes with some songs released again in mainstream media or nerdcore, because you know, like there's certain channels out there that get tens of thousands of views, and I question why, because some of their songs are mass produced, and it absolutely is a case of not every song is going to be the best. That is a case, but then sometimes I think as an artist you can tell when someone else isn't trying. I certainly went through that phase with a couple of my songs, and I questioned myself. I was like, I'm not in this for the right reason anymore. And that's when I took a step back.
You can't just make music just to make music. You gotta like gotta feel it. You gotta be in it 100%. And it's like, if you're not feeling it, then why are you doing it? That's like,
yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, so if I like put together an instrumental or something, or even if I find, back before I started making my own beats, and this is the reason why I pushed myself to make beats, was I would always use other beats, and I would use them. I did them for free at first. I would just download the free beat, make the song, and then throw it up, and I'm actually leasing beats now because people are like bugging me enough to put it up on Spotify. So I leased a couple beats, and I'm trying to throw a couple of my songs up on Spotify. Hopefully they're out on Spotify by the time this gets released. But if not, it's just taking its time. I know it takes some time. But if I'm just not feeling a beat, like if the beat doesn't give me the vibe that I'm looking for, even if it's a good beat, it could be a great beat, but if it doesn't feel like I could fit it to anything I'd be writing about, then I just go, hey, good beat, but I don't think I'll use it. So, I know what a good beat is like, but if it's just a beat that I'm not feeling, that's fine. But someone else might feel it, and it's like, that's what I always like. I feel like I want to give advice to people. I mean, who am I to give advice? But because my channel's relatively small, but I still can I feel like I can give a little bit of advice for anybody that wants to start making music in general. If you're not feeling it, just don't do it. Like, try to find some other thing to do. Like, if you're not feeling a specific topic or a beat or whatever, just move on from it. You don't want to push something out that you're just kind of like with.
There's times where I don't upload anything. I think I'm either on my second or third week of not uploading anything, and it's a case of I'm really busy with Project C, but it's also I'm just not in the mood, and I'd rather just not make anything at this point. I'd rather just, because then I'm just throwing trash out, and I don't want to throw trash out.
Yeah, but the last song you put out, was that Ghost of Tsushima one, the last one you put out?
Yeah. Well, I think that's 2 weeks ago.
I want to talk more about that game and in a little bit.
Great game.
So, but I have one more question about your channel.
Okay.
Do you have any what are your future goals for your channel? And do you have any future projects that you're okay with sharing with here? If not, that's totally okay, because I get some people want to be secretive until closer to when things release, but that's fine if you.
I feel like, so I can't say much about Project C, because one of the reasons why I don't want to talk about Project C too much is because I've got someone else mixing it, so I can work on the project itself, and I don't want to be one of those people and be like, my mouth's bigger than my mind is. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen and this is gonna happen, when at the end of the day, just because I'm creatively talented in X direction does not mean I'll be creatively talented in Y direction. And I'm bringing in people to help me with Project C. I'm bringing in casting directors, actors, stunt directors. I'm bringing a lot of people, and I'm just trying to see if Project C is going to be possible. And if it is, how possible is my vision of Project C going to be? And that's why I'm not saying anything about it, because I don't want to turn around and be like, the Project C is going to do this, and then when you watch it, it's like, where is what you said?
Yeah.
But what I can say about Project C, if indeed I do manage to get it off the ground, is it involves sword fighting.
Nice.
And music. That's what I can say. There is a stunt coordinator who's one of my best friends. He is one of the realest people you'll ever meet. If you say... So, I was talking to him. I was like, hey, I'll be fighting in this. And he looked at it and he was like, you're not moving in that. And I was like, would I be able to train? He's like, no, get rid of it. And I was like, oh, this took me ages. He's like, I don't care, get rid of it. And I was like, okay. And I need people like that. I hate yes men. I want people to tell me I'm wrong, so then I can ask why I'm wrong, and they'll point out and I can improve. So that's why I'm not saying anything. But there is a For Honor song coming out soonish for Warmonger. I know a lot of my fans are For Honor fans, and they're like, we want more For Honor content, and that's fine. Ubisoft, we still need to talk about that thing. Ubisoft, please.
But
oh god damn it! I know someone in Ubisoft and the For Honor dev, and I talk to them a lot because through the clan connections, and I'm messaging them and I'm like, what the fuck's going on with the game right now? And they haven't responded to me, so they're clearly being told to stay shh. But if I were to say aims for the channel, the content type that Project C is going to be, if indeed it does come out the way I want it to, is what I'm going to focus on.
Nice.
There is a Fallout New Vegas version or a Fallout New Vegas song in the same style as Project C, also in the works. But Project C needs to come out first, and it needs to be like boom. Because originally Project C was going to be my last song. It was going to be my last thing because I was not feeling Nerdcore. But it's going to be a case of if Project C snaps, that's what I want to start doing more. I'm so tired of anime songs. I'm so tired of them. I don't mind the occasional one on my channel, but people keep asking me to make more and more anime songs, and I'm just not feeling it.
That's funny. You're like the first one to say. Most people are the other way around. They get tired of the gaming ones.
Right,
yeah.
but I feel like there's not a lot of gaming content out right now. And I feel like with that, I've said this a million times to other people. But like, I don't know. If I were to, so take Halo. I'm a big green mean killing machine saving humanity. That encompasses Master Chief and the Doomslayer in gaming. That's it. That's 2 characters. But if I were to say, you killed my family, you killed my mom, I'll save my sister, I am the bomb. I've talked about 20 animes in one at least. I have not even needed to mention a character name. And that's fine. I think the risk with anime is you have to be super, super careful how you construct your verses or how you construct your lyrics and choruses, because you can absolutely highlight a million characters in one. And I think a lot of it's just becoming, for me, fatigued. A lot of people are making the same song about the same people. And again, the people that stand out to me personally are Daddy Fat Snamps, Divide, and Fable, because they give it their all in every song. And that's not to say other people making these songs aren't giving it their all, or they aren't just as talented. For me personally, I prefer the content that DPS, Divide, and Fable are putting out. Because I can listen to their songs, and I can be like, especially Fable's One for All song. All for One, sorry. When I listen to that, I'm like, dude, I get such villain vibes from this. I want powers.
I love that one too.
But long story short, Project C content.
Okay.
I want to get it off the ground.
Okay. Now we're gonna move away from your channel and kind of just talk about other stuff. So I'm gonna start with anime and then move to games, because I know you play a lot of games. What are your top 5 anime?
Okay, so I feel like this goes for everybody. It changes all the time.
Yeah, everybody says that. Even for me, it changes.
There are a couple that will always stay at the top. So number 1 is Gundam in general. Gundam Origins is fantastic. I think Gundam is the first anime I ever watched as well. So number 1 is Gundam. I don't think that's ever been taken out of number 1. I think number 2 might be Code Geass. Incredible anime. That kind of fluctuates in and out of being in the top 5, primarily because I'm like, sometimes I won't watch it and I'll be like, dude, I should really watch Code Geass again. And I watch it, I'm like, this is why I like it so much. Number 3 is RE0. The new season's out right now and it's fantastic. Reminds me so much of why I like RE0 so much, or ReZero, however you want to say it. I think number 4 is Dragon Ball. Specifically Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball GT and Dragon Ball Super had
You actually have
moments.
Dragon Ball Z in the same spot I have Dragon Ball Z for my top 5 as number 4.
It's good.
That's so weird.
It's a wholesome anime.
It's awesome. I love Dragon Ball Z.
And I'd say 5 right now is probably Rising of the Shield Hero. That anime has made me feel things I didn't think possible. And I'm quite an unfeeling person. I feel like I'm very able to shut my emotions out because I prefer logic over impulse. But Rising of the Shield Hero definitely got me tearing up, got me angry, got me frustrated, elated, ecstatic. I was like, this anime is if you haven't watched it, go watch it.
It's
I think honorable mentions
It's on my list.
is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Assassination Classroom.
Nice.
But top 5, yeah. Again, it changes all the time. Gundam is yet to be taken off. Gundam is just amazing. How has your list changed since the last time you asked that question?
Oh gosh. Actually, yes.
Okay.
A little bit. A little bit.
Oh, okay. Like one anime.
God, I don't want to like. Okay, because I have on here Naruto, My Hero Academia, Fairy Tail, Dragon Ball Z, One Piece. But it's like I'm watching Assassination Classroom right now, and I feel like that deserves a spot. So I'm trying to figure out what to bump out because I'm like, I
remember.
What?
Sorry, go on.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna bump Naruto out because for me Naruto is like Gundam for you. It's never gonna leave number one.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
I feel like Assassination Classroom. Oh man, It's like, gosh, I don't want to bump one of these out because I don't want people who are fans of the series to be like, oh, you bumped it out of your top 5. It's like, it's so hard. The thing is, it's like, it's what I'm.
I think apart from number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are up there because they're not as good as number 1. So I feel like they're okay to be interchangeable. When something replaces number 1, that to you is a really good anime. Like, I would say Dr. Stone comes close to being in my top 5, but no. it's just not as evocative of emotions as the other ones. I don't know what to kick out.
I feel like just because I haven't seen much of Dragon Ball Z, it might kick Dragon Ball Z out. But that's not to say it's a bad anime.
I would understand that.
Like, I would understand. It'll kick Dragon Ball Z out, and I think it takes the place of 4th. I think. And then another. So that would leave honorable mentions as Dragon Ball Z, and then my second one would be Fire Force. Just because it's what I've been watching recently, and like it changes.
Dude, I can't get
based on what I watch. Like I'll probably go back, watch more Dragon Ball Z, and be like, oh, I love this. It's gonna go back at number 4, you know. And it's like,
I mean, you like when I watch Dragon Ball Z, I'm like, dude, this is so good. And then I get to the Buu arc, and I'm like, oh, this is trash. This is really bad. And people hate me for that, but I don't care. Like, Super Buu is just perfect Cell. Again, change my mind. It's just not good.
I have yet to get there, so I'll see what you mean when I get there.
When if you haven't watched it, I'm going through Bleach right now, by the way, and I don't know what to make of the anime. But if you haven't watched it, absolutely watch The Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime.
Oh, I love that one.
That anime is so good.
Love that
you
one.
have watched it. Okay,
why is that? Okay, it's so hard to pick a top 5. Okay, it's like the top 5 is like trying to pick all these amazing anime and putting top 5 out of them. I feel like it'd be easier to make a top 10, maybe. But that would be way too many for the podcast, and I just keep it top 5. But just know there are a lot of great anime out there that I've now realized I can put in my top 5. But I don't want to kick out the anime I have in my top 5. So like I totally like understand when people are like, oh, it changes, you know, because mine does change.
The thing is, for me as well, like I get into a few heated debates about this. Is the only truly like mainstream shonen one I like is Dragon Ball. I do not like Naruto, and I do not like One Piece. I've not really looked too much into One Piece, but Luffy as a character he just looks weird. I can't get into that, and it's the same for Naruto. So people are like, why don't you like this? Why don't you like this? I'm like, I have Dragon Ball. You can have Naruto. Yeah. It's like, I don't have the time. Like I'm on like 159 of Bleach, and it's a slog. Like I'm having to do, because obviously they're continuing the anime, and I was like, well, now's a perfect time to get into it. And I do like most of it, but then some of it I'm like, dude, I really don't want to fucking watch this right now. I don't know if we can swear. I'm sorry. I just actually dropped the F-bomb.
No, you're good, dude. I will let you know that in the previous episode, Sailor Loves swore a lot, and I told her when she was coming on, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I just
good.
So but yeah, you know, it's fine. Anime is very, very cool oriented. You have to be very careful with anime.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay. I feel like people may get offended by that, but it's like, you know, if you don't like something, it's your personal preference. Like, you know.
Oh yeah.
I like Naruto because I have my reasons for liking Naruto. Just as some people may have reasons for not liking Naruto. It's fine. It's whatever.
I think you
just gotta respect,
I think if I watched more of both of them, I'd be into it. But I just don't want to watch them. So thus I do not
big,
care for
meaty animes that you have to like watch a lot. And
I've heard like Rustage mention multiple times on his streams to people, just read the manga. I don't have time. I don't have time for that. I actually set aside time when I'm done work and I'll work really hard just to get time to watch Bleach. Or because I'm a professional gamer from time to time as well. So when people are like, oh yeah, just read the manga, I'm like, but I'm already reading Call of Cthulhu for the 10th time this week. I don't have time.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to top 5 games, and I'm actually really interested in this because I know you're a huge gamer, and
yes,
I'm really interested in this.
Huge.
I don't have my top 5 prepared because I don't normally ask this. I think I asked Sky Limits this, but like that was it. So like I didn't have a list prepared. So I'll just come
pretty
up,
confident my list hasn't changed.
I will just come up with some in the moment that I've been playing that I really love, and that's just what I'm gonna go with after you say yours.
Okay, so I want to prefix this by saying I've played almost every recent game that's come out. Ghost of Tsushima. And this is going to sound really bad, but I don't think Ghost of Tsushima is in the top 5. And that's not to say it isn't objectively the superior game to the games in my top 5. It probably is, but the experiences I've had with the ones in the top 5 just keep them there. I don't think it's changed. So I'll start from the top. Fallout New Vegas is my favorite game of all time, and it has been since I've played it. That game is a journey, an experience. A lot of people can't appreciate it, and I think that's probably because they don't want to sit there. They take it at surface value. I think if you get into New Vegas, you can appreciate its nuance, you can appreciate its style, its storytelling. Obsidian are fantastic storytellers, and they're very witty writers. I think one of the saving graces of their recent game, Outer Worlds, is the writing. And I love Outer Worlds, but it's nowhere near as big as New Vegas, which I was expecting. So that's probably why I don't play as much. So number 1 is New Vegas. Number 2, and this is gonna probably be a bit of a surprise, is Halo Reach. I love Halo Reach. It's got everything, man. Story, customization, firefight, Noble 6, multiplayer, where I beat the crap out of people. Number 3 is BioShock Infinite. I do like BioShock 1 and 2. I think BioShock 1 is probably the better game, but I just prefer Infinite. I think Infinite has a very compelling and charming story, as well as a charming... I'd say charming. It's got extremism as like a villainous entity. So when I say charming, I mean the beginning of the game is very charming atmospherically, and its switch up is so like perfect, which is why it's number 3. 4 is Overwatch, I think. I've had a lot of good times with Overwatch. It's not in the best state now. I'm gonna blame Brigitte. I'll always blame Brigitte. And by no means am I the best player in Overwatch. I'm pretty trash, to be honest with you. But when I sat down and I played that game, I was like, I think I was top 500 Reaper, top 1000 Widowmaker in the UK. So there was a time in my life where I dedicated to playing Overwatch, and then they released Brigitte, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done with this game. This game's not fun. That and the porn. The porn for Overwatch is very disturbing. I played this game and I'm like, I've seen this character do some crazy things that I'm not entirely happy with. I'm gonna put this game down. I think 5. I think it is subject to change. I think I've probably answered this differently for 5. So those top 4 have always been top 4. But currently I'd say 5 right now. If I can't remember what my previous answer was, I'm going to be honest with you, but I think it's For Honor. Which is weird because For Honor's in a really bad state right now. But I'm a pro player in For Honor, so I feel like if I don't say For Honor's in my top 5, I'm a fucking hypocrite. Because I played that game so much, it just has to be there. Which is really weird because it's in a really bad state right now. I hit Masters in For Honor within the first 3 seasons. I became a pro player the second year. I was in I've been in several tournaments and I've lost nearly every single one of them. And I'm in a kind of almost For Honor Pro League team right now, which I won't mention because we have a rule. We keep our YouTube entities and our professional entities very separate because there's dirty tactics in the For Honor community. It's a very toxic community. and I don't want any part in that. So I keep the entities separately, which is why whenever I do stream For Honor or I film For Honor, it's always on my main account. I have a specific account when I play For Honor, because then nobody knows who I am, other than my clanmates, obviously. Which is a shame that has to happen, but it does have to happen, and you just have to live with that.
Yeah.
But For Honor is definitely up there as a very fun when For Honor works, and when you're winning or when you're losing, even if it's a fair fight, it's a very fun game. It's when I try and hit you once and you've spammed me with the same 12 attacks and you've not run out of stamina. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Or I try and parry your attack and I see my character go into the parry animation and then you hit me through it. I'm like, okay, well that's bullshit. But like I said, I feel like if I don't put For Honor as 5, I'm a hypocrite because I'm a pro. I say I'm a pro. The tourneys haven't started for this season yet, but when they do, if they fix the game, I'll be there. I'll be in that tourney, and you won't know it's me. Haha. Okay, that's my top 5.
My top 5. Holy crap. I'd have to put number 1. I don't know if this has changed. So if people are listening to this and they're like, you said this in episode 2 with Sky Limits, I'm like, I'm probably gonna change it up. So, number 1, I think this is the same as I said before. I'm gonna call it a franchise because it's like I can't pick any.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say the Halo franchise.
That's fair.
And
yeah.
I'm a little, after seeing the footage for the newest one, I'm a little concerned.
I'm very concerned. That should be a topic.
I want it to succeed, and I want to get. I'm gonna wait till they drop the game and see what happens. Before deciding if it's something I want to pick up. But it's like. I just don't get it. Yeah, I don't. I don't want to talk about that right now. But we'll go to my number 2.
Yeah.
My number 2 would have to be. It's gonna be very cliche, I guess. I would say number 2 is probably the Doom franchise. I think that is different.
Okay. I actually don't hear many people say Doom.
I like Doom. I even like the newer ones. Like the 2016 and Doom Eternal. They're really good.
Oh yeah, 2016 was a great game.
And
Eternal was okay.
No, for my third. Oh god. Now I gotta think, because I'm trying to think about what I said before, but also trying to just think about it more in depth. I think my third would be. Oh man, I would have to say Ghost of Tsushima just because I'm loving it, and just because it kind of.
It's a good game.
It's kind of making me love gaming again. I don't know, because I used to play a lot of competitive games, and it's nice to just play a game where I can just play by myself.
It's definitely in my top 10. I feel like my top 5 is either respect, nostalgia, or what I'm playing the shit out of. Okay. But Ghost is definitely up there.
So
in the top 10.
I think that's 3, right? Okay, so now I need 4.
Yeah, you see your 4th.
Oh god.
Dark Souls.
So hard. No, it's not Dark Souls.
Imagine if it was. I'm like, damn, okay.
Oh god, dude, I'm having such a hard time because I feel like this was so easy before, but now I'm like, okay, maybe I want to think about it a little more. Maybe to pick a multiplayer game. Okay, I will say I like. Oh fuck. I'm like, they need 2 more games. Come on, Chaos, think about it. Let's go.
Look on your shelf. Oh, Crackdown 2.
Okay, I really like. Okay, I'm just gonna say Valorant just because I like the gameplay. But the reason, the thing that turned me off from it was the toxicity in the community. And there's nothing you can do about the toxicity when you get into the games, like someone over a voice comm is being a dick, or over text. You can't really stop that. But it's when you're playing by yourself, which is primarily what I do. Is I don't play with a lot of people, games with a lot of people. So I'm by myself. So when I think about going into a game by myself, I have to think about solo, which is why Ghost of Tsushima has been really good. Because it's I don't need anybody else to it's a single player game. That's how it's played, and it's I usually play games by myself anyway. So those single player games are something that I need to, I really enjoy. I would say for
Like-
number 5, I'd have to say, oh crap, now we're back to it again, thinking about it. I would probably have to say, it's an older one, but I really enjoyed the gameplay of it. I would have to say it was like the first real multiplayer game I played online was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, not the newest one. Don't want to get that confused. It's the first Modern Warfare, not the It's
the no Russian one, right? Is that in the campaign?
That was,
no Russian, or is that?
No, it's Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, Modern Warfare 2. Sorry, that one. That one, yeah, the no Russian. You're right. You mentioned the no Russian. I'm like, yeah, no, it was that one. Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
That one, I loved the state of the game. The storyline for that was good. I mean, like they continued the whole storyline from the first one, but like even the multiplayer, like it just felt so seamless, and it was some of the better experiences.
Yeah, before everyone ran on walls and did backflips and shit.
Yeah.
Get that out of my game. I don't want that in my game.
I don't know. I guess I could say, I do enjoy the latest Call of Duty, like the Modern Warfare, but there are some things I don't like about it. There are obviously some balancing issues that happen every time they release new guns or whatnot, and it just kind of makes the game unenjoyable. But I do have to mention something, and I don't know if you're gonna be upset with me about it, but Overwatch, I was excited for Overwatch, but I got very bored of it very easily, and I was turned off from it.
Yeah. I can.
When the game came, I feel like I should have started playing Overwatch 6 months after it came out, because like they started releasing, they didn't release anything new for it for like I don't know how long. It was a while, but I got out of playing it because I played it a lot, and it was so repetitive. And again, I play by myself a lot, so like I don't have.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem.
And it's like when you play something by yourself and the matches are about the same, you play the same thing over and over and over again, you get kind of bored. And they didn't release any new characters or anything. And then as soon as they started releasing new characters, that I stopped playing it. And then like I think a little bit after that, it was like, oh, we're gonna start releasing content now. And I'm like, but I'm already moved on. I'm playing other games. I'm doing other things. And I have played Overwatch a little bit since then. But it's just like I've kind of it had its time to shine and kind of like give me its impression. And I guess for me with Overwatch, it kind of failed me in particular in the beginning, because I think they should have, I don't know, I think they just should have like released content or made more modes or something. I don't know.
This is so weird, but when I was playing Overwatch at the time, I was also playing Rainbow Six Siege. And I preferred Rainbow Six Siege over Overwatch. And the only reason why like Apex and Siege aren't above or in that list and they haven't replaced Overwatch is because of the memories I have on Overwatch. And I still play that more than I play Siege. But I remember when I was playing Siege and playing Overwatch at the same time, I was like, man, like when Siege releases its new content, it doesn't give me one character or a map, it gives me 2 new characters, it changes a bunch of characters, it adds new equipment and new guns, and it gives me a new map. All at the same time, and it does that quicker than Overwatch ever did. And I was always like, man, why doesn't Overwatch do this? And then they released Brigitte, and I'm like, oh no, this is why they don't do it all at once, because they just fuck it up. So yeah, I totally understand where you're coming from.
And like, I really like, okay, another game that I really wish, one game that I think that kind of first impression kind of thing kind of messed up everybody, and I think the state of the game I think right now is better than it was when it came out, would be Fallout 76. Like, it is definitely a lot better game now, but it's like because it came out so weak,
it's still a
nobody
trash game.
wants to play it.
It's still a garbage game. It's like the way I describe Fallout 76 now is like public online beta Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's like, but if they would have released it how it is now, and then improved it from there, it would have been so much better.
Oh yeah, I think, but Bethesda's just greedy as fuck, man.
Yeah.
I do not like Bethesda as a company.
I want to try to get,
which is a shame.
Love the Fallout. Okay, I should have put the Fallout series in there, but again, it's so difficult.
Oh yeah,
that
I
would be honorable
Fallout
mentions.
series.
Fallout series. I, to be honest, prefer 3 over New Vegas. I didn't.
Many people do.
I didn't like New Vegas, to be honest. because I got stuck. I don't know. I think it was just a glitch. The storyline progression for me, it wouldn't give me the I don't know what it was. I looked it up, but it wouldn't give me the like a door was supposed to open or something, and it wouldn't.
Oh, the platinum chip.
I don't know. No, it's not that. It was like some random like glitch that happened where it was supposed to let me in to open a door or something to progress in the story, and it wouldn't let me. And I looked it up, and it was actually like at the time it was like, oh yeah, it's supposed to do this. I'm like, well, it's not letting me do this, so I kind of gave up on it because I got stuck. But I bet you if I go back and play it and actually like, you know,
Dude,
try it again, I feel like I might like it a lot. It's so hard to get back into it.
Fallout New Vegas modded out the ass. Obviously, like if you could show screenshots, because I could send you screenshots, but obviously you don't show media in your thingy.
Yeah, we can probably do that after that we're done recording here. Yeah, you can show
I'll send them because it's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've got mods that add ray tracing, sun rays, weapon handlement is through the roof. I have a mod which adds cut content from the game. It goes into the code. It says, like Area 51 or Section 4 New 25 and stuff like that. Random mod resources. Modders recreate it, or if some of the assets already exist in the game, they just never were put in the map because they weren't finished. So they just finished them. And I'm not kidding you when I say these guys probably haven't even added half of the cut content from Fallout New Vegas, but my game has drastically jumped up by at least 30 hours of new gameplay. And that's insane for me, because it's like, this isn't just stuff modders have added. This is stuff the developers wanted to add. And I get to experience that in my favorite game. It's like a whole new game for me.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. I love modding so much.
Yeah, I did say that I wanted to chat more about Ghost of Tsushima, but I think really, like, I just wanted to say that I really enjoy like your rap for it, and like I really enjoyed the gameplay of it, and you know, even though it's not in your top 5, I'm pretty sure you're still enjoying it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in my top 10. It's honorable mentions, 100%. It's such a good game. I would say it's almost flawless. It's a 9 out of 10. It suffers from combat bugs and glitch bugs and audio bugs, which is a damn shame because it's so close to being a 10 out of 10. It's like on the tip of being a 10 out of 10. But I hate it when I'm in the game and I'm playing it, and I hard parry, then I soft parry into a roll, into a kick, switch my stance, and I go to attack, and Jin turns his back on someone, and I didn't tell Jin to turn his back on someone, and they stab me once and I'm dead because it didn't alert me that there was going to be an attack. And when it doesn't alert you that there's going to be an attack, you can't parry it. It's physically impossible. And that happened a lot during the duels. I want to prefix this by saying I played the game on hard. That happened a lot in duels, and I'd have to turn the difficulty down. And when I have to do that in a game, rather than persevere because I'm like, this just isn't working, that's a shame. Because of literally, other than that, the game is flawless. It's so good. The scenery is perfect. The soundtrack is perfect. The environmental storytelling is amazing. Jin Sakai, while he's a bit of a bland character here and there, he picks up towards the end of the story and becomes really compelling, and it turns into a direction I was hoping for, and I'm like, this is fucking amazing. And I just, like literally, if you just improve the combat and you improve when I killed a dude, his cape isn't dangling through the floor. If you just improved that, I'd be like, this game's a fucking 10 out of 10. It's so good. I just hate it when I'm really into a game and I get punished for the game messing up. I'm like, well, I don't want to play this anymore. And that happens very rarely, but it happens with Ghosts, and that's a shame. Because other than that, I can't turn around and say it's a bad game, because it's not a bad game. I'd go as far as to say it deserves Game of the Year if it wasn't for the fact Cyberpunk's coming out.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that one. I'm like really.
But
I really like. Oh man, it got delayed a few times, so I'm just kind of like, but I mean for a good reason. Like I just can't wait. I hope it I hope it doesn't disappoint, because I
don't think CD Projekt Red have it in them to disappoint.
I don't think so. I think they're gonna come out with a good one.
I mean, I didn't like The Witcher. I did not like The Witcher 3. And and it's not like, oh, it's a bad game. I just couldn't get into it. And I think the reason why I couldn't get into it is because I had a friend called Emerson. And Emerson did not shut up about this game. Like, I'm telling you, like, this every fucking day. I swear to God, he'd marry Geralt if he could. Like, he was so far up his ass. Which is weird, because he doesn't like the Witcher TV series. I find quite interesting. But I love that. I love the TV series. Which, actually, the TV series made me go back and want to play it. But I just... Every time I'm playing, I'm like, wow, Emerson made this game out to be God's gift. And it's not God's gift, so I don't want to play it. I think that is, but I can look at it and I can go, that is a good game. It is a good game. So I have utter faith in CD Projekt Red for Cyberpunk, even though they keep pushing it back, which is a bit. But I'd rather them push it back, but like, hey, we're pushing it back, than Halo Infinite and be like, yeah, this is definitely coming out 31st of December 2020. I'm like, but the game doesn't look good, and Halo fanboys are super bad, dude. Like, they're so, I'd say borderline fascist. Like, if you don't like how Halo Infinite looks, you're a bad person and you probably should disappear. Like, I've had people message me going, you don't deserve to have an opinion, because I question 343, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What the hell? I'm like, if you like a game that much, you've got problems. I love Halo, and that's why I want Halo to look better, because I love it. My opinions come from a passion, but no way am I ever gonna question someone else's opinion and then follow it up with a, if you disappeared, no one would care. Because it's like, bro, you're just, A, you look like a dick, B, completely inappropriate, and C, it helps no one, least of all 343. Like, people are like, oh, 343's under scrutiny. Yeah, they deserve to be. And I think they like being under scrutiny because it means there's more pressure on them. It means they're getting more direct answers. I just hope they listen.
Yeah.
That's, I just hope they listen, because the non-fanboys of Halo are right. And that sounds really bad, because I don't think you can ever turn around and go, oh, opinions could be wrong. But in this instance, people saying Halo Infinite doesn't look good are right. It doesn't look good graphically. That's a fact. And 343 need to listen to that, rather than the people going, oh, I don't mind about graphics. I'm perfectly fine with my game looking like a PS2 game and probably runs like a PS1 game. Like,
I think they just
get
want
out
a
of
Halo
here.
Game. I think they just want a Halo game.
Yeah, and I think that's
to question.
That's part of the issue.
To question it and to kind of be like, hey, what's going on? It's not like because you dislike the game, you just want, because you love the idea of the game so much, like you have a passion about it, that you want it to turn out the best that it can turn out. And it's like,
yeah, exactly.
People kind of, they get so upset about that. It's like, no, I'm not talking crap about the game to just,
because I hate it. Yeah.
You're like, I'm calling it out for saying, hey, we want you to put out an amazing Halo game. We want this to be like literally like a great Halo game, and we don't think it looks like a great Halo game right now, and we're just questioning it. And I think even just goes for any opinion. Like, people have opinions. Don't tell people that they should disappear for having an opinion. That's ridiculous.
Opinions are a lot like arseholes.
Yeah.
Everyone has one, but you don't need to use it all the time.
Oh.
And some of them smell like shit. Yeah. Let's be real. Some of them are shit. And like, I had a teacher when I was originally voice acting, and it was my first gig she sat in on, and I was doing the villain voice. It was probably higher because my voice, your voice obviously gets deeper. I was doing the villain voice, and I was sounding like this, and I was being evil and grr, my family's dead and stuff like that. And she went like, I heard a, yeah, that was shit, take it again. And I was like, you can't say that to me, but it worked. That she wasn't just saying I'm shit. She trained me, and she knew I could do better, and she pushed me to do better, and thus, boom, I am a voice actor.
Yeah.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you, sensei.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and we're just gonna wrap this up and just say
hey,
thank you for being on the podcast, Ninethie, and I'm gonna give you a chance to plug your channel away, telling people where they can find you on anything.
I hope I haven't rambled on too much.
Oh no, you're good. I just, we're kind of hitting that point. I'm like, okay, we should probably.
Yeah. I do apologize if I have.
Okay.
Sorry,
it's
everybody.
Really nice chat, but we're gonna go and just end it, and yeah, just go and plug away
okay.
for the channel, and I'll just give it this time.
You can find me on YouTube, Ninethie Music, if you want to listen to really bad raps. Or you can find me on YouTube, Ninethie Gaming, if you want to watch meme-tages and make yourself feel slightly better, because I perform bad in most of them. And then you realise I'm a professional player, but you know, it's all good. You can find me on Twitter at Ninethie, and you can find me on Discord if I give you the Discord invite, which I probably won't because I don't use Discord. Yeah, I'd plug my acting, but I'm not doing that.
That's okay. I'll post, like, you have like an Instagram, right?
I do. I don't use it.
Then
I don't use Instagram.
I'll probably just do like Twitter. I'll do like Twitter, YouTube.
Yeah. I mean, you can put Instagram.
Yeah.
But like, I literally look at the app and go, I'm gonna put a meme up today, and then don't touch it.
Yeah,
I'll
put it. I'll put like Instagram, like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and then maybe like Spotify or something like that. That's what I usually do. So all the links will be in the description.
Oh yeah, I have a Spotify.
Yeah. They'll be in the description below. Go follow Ninethie. What?
I keep forgetting I have a Spotify.
But yeah, I'll post all the links in the description for you all to click on and go check Ninethie out. I think he's been such an interesting guest on, and
Thank you. It's been fun.
I've enjoyed having him on for the podcast episode 5, and I still can't believe I'm saying that, episode 5. So hopefully I can bring you episode 6 next week, but if not, until then, I hope you all are having a fun, safe, and amazing day, and yeah, bye everyone.
See ya.